Wait, let me ask this. Was MK Ultra a real thing in Hollywood?
Oh, you're asking the two top reps of Hollywood?
Yeah, way more than me.
That's true.
David, you would know.
Shit, fuck everywhere.
We are recording, and we are coming in hot from Cleveland.
Yeah. Dana, aside from your hair, which we won't over talk about, but we will talk about, if we started, I guess we did, because we never know, that I did. Oh, people got mad. We said cicadas wrong last week. Fine. But the cicada bit was funny. Cicada bit was a hit.
Yeah, it was funny, and I apologize for the mispronunciation.
But we still don't know. We still say cicada.
What is it, cicada?
I think it's cicada, which
Okay, let's
dumb.
get an S in there. I went to state school. Let's get an S in there. It's because it's C.
Yeah, make it easy for everyone. Fuck that.
Cicada.
How about filthy flies on steroids that pee?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Remember they peed all over everyone?
They should call them picadas. Picadas. They should call them urnatas.
Yeah, they're sickening, and I've had it with them, but it was a good story. Also, I went to a concert this weekend. I'll just buzz through that quickly. Went to a concert because we had Joe Elliott on our sister podcast.
Love Joe.
So here's what happens. I go to a concert for Def Leppard, Journey, and Steve Miller. And we had Joe Elliott on. I had already bought tickets. And I scalped them because I wanted to sit right up front and no shenanigans. Just so I could see, so I could enjoy life.
No, it's cool. It's cool to be in front of cool people.
And it's a SoFi where they have football games, where they should really, all kidding aside, only have football games. Because concert, it's a little big. You talk about low ceilings on a comedy club. There's almost no ceiling. It's a few tarps up there, and it's half open air. Sound goes fucking everywhere. So I go in, and they go, "Oh, I just follow my ticket," and I'm in the highest level, and I tell some guy, "Where's this? Because I'm on the floor. I need to get to the floor." And he goes, "You're on the floor, dumb fuck. You're right here." And I go, "No, but
you were on the floor."
I was on the floor. That's where I bought the tickets.
But you didn't. Okay.
When I got there, I got bamboozled. So I walk around and sit down. So I'm on the side of the stadium, looking down. It's honestly like when they parachute in. That's kind of the view I have.
Good.
So that's shitty, right? Because it says SoFi Stadium.
That's your view?
That's where I'm sitting. And that's the stage. And there's some dude in front of me that needs conditioner, but that's a whole nother story. But his hair,
I love a man in a ponytail.
He wasn't bad because we talked the whole concert and he didn't say one thing. So we're sitting there in these dog shit seats. And I think I couldn't see because I was behind Aaron Donald's retired jersey. And then, it's funny. And then,
sorry,
because they're at the rafters, you know?
Yeah,
so that one, and everyone looked like an ant farm down there because everyone's just milling about. Now, this is when Steve Miller goes in, right at the very beginning. And Steve Miller, I love, but I have to get there at 6 to see him. And it's really just a corporate gig because no one cares at all. It's light. There's barely a roof. And everyone's just looking around for $20 beers.
Milling around and walking with their drinks. Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm like, you hear a bang, I'm like, this one. And everyone's like, anyway. No one cares.
Fly like an eagle.
Yeah.
What?
And he used to fill stadiums like this on his tours. He's still filling them, but they're just, you got to pick your chunk because everyone here is clearly old. Because Def Leppard, Journey, you know. So it's 5 straight hours. So you have to pick, do I come a little late? Do I come, whatever. So I want to see Steve Miller, and I'll just see how far I can get being a colossal pussy. This is what my doctor said. So I go there.
Good doc.
Steve Miller does great, gets off. But then there's 25 minutes of downtime. Now they got to put the other stuff up. Journey, new singer. You've heard that, right? Not new anymore, but.
Totally. Yeah, the impressionist of Stephen Perry has been with them for a long time.
Yes.
He's brilliant.
Yeah.
But there's only one Steve Perry, sorry.
Right, and this guy has got a great voice. I thought he was Bobby Lee for the first 10 songs, but fine. But I can't see. That's not my fault. So he sings, they do great. And if I'm Def Leppard, I don't like Journey, doing an hour and a half. and
Whoa,
hogging
that's
the beefiest, the
aggressive.
stand-up. That's the best part of the night. Everyone's in it. It's dark now.
Yeah, the energy.
They close with that killer song from The Sopranos, and then they do confetti. You cannot. Before the headliner.
As a middle, they do confetti?
Fucking the middle act is doing fucking confetti.
People are heading for the parking lot. Where is Z4, sir?
Where's the C lot? I parked at LAX. I'm supposed to walk to SoFi. So I was like, Def Leppard needs a no fucking confetti clause immediately. And also, they're closing with that big song. So you do need that break. So they flip the stage again. And then here comes Def Leppard. Now I'm 1,000% burned out. Because I'm in there 4 hours already, Right. And I'm also back where I'm just taking selfies. Because everyone's like, oh, you look like the guy that should be down there. And I go, yeah, but I'm the guy that got fucking ripped off. So I'm up here. Oh, here we go again with the photo. Just to remind everyone, this is where I was.
Well, the old-fashioned thing, there's no roof, but you would be in the nosebleeds, right? That's
100%. That's where
really
they get
high up. You get
name.
a nosebleed.
Yep, makes sense. So I'm up there, busting my hump. And the guy from Def Leppard, obviously, one of the drummers has one arm, we talked about. But they have another drummer to make sure it makes sense. But he's only got one arm, but it's the other arm. So it works. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Before the meeting, they go, okay, you do the 1 and 3 beats, and I'll do 2, 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's hard to sync up, but
they had an ad in the paper. We need someone with a missing left arm or missing right arm.
No, it said miss arm and it said left preferable.
Yeah.
But not a deal.
Well, I'll just say that guy. Hey, I want to defend drummers everywhere because I used to pound this.
I would fiddle around.
Def Leppard's brilliant drummer lost his arm in an auto accident, and they never thought of letting him go. And then he reinvented the drums, which is now state of the art, where you can do so many things with your feet. Anyway, continue.
And his legs are on overdrive because he's making so much noise with the legs to take away from the fact. So anyway, he did say that when he sleeps sideways, it used to hurt when he'd sleep on his arm, but now it's pretty easy. You know what I mean? There's no pain.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one upside, I guess. So other than that,
I have 5 questions, but I want you to finish your story.
I think that's it. I left. I didn't even finish. Poor Joe
5
Elliott.
questions.
I almost hit him up from backstage and said, "Get me out of here. Get me back. Do something." But I felt so dumb that he offered me tickets on the podcast. Then I go, no, I got this. I don't need your charity.
Okay, that was one of my questions.
Okay.
The lead singer of one of the greatest rock bands in history invites you to his show. Come on, be my guest.
Come on.
And then you're in row 138. So that confused me. But you had to get the tickets yourself.
Show it again. Yes, that's the picture. So
okay.
I have more pictures on my phone, but I don't want to overwhelm you because it's just funny. Good.
I have an observation from that picture.
Okay.
Isn't it interesting / funny that in the heyday of certain kind of COVID stocks that went crazy, like SoFi, then they get a $1 trillion stadium named after them, but their stock right now is like 48 cents.
I don't even know what SoFi was.
Well, they had crypto this and SoFi that.
Right.
And it's like the companies barely exist.
Yeah.
We might get letters on that one.
They give the naming rights. They realize all their money's gone and they only have this stadium now.
The stock peaked for like a week, and then they got $2 trillion stadiums built, and then they just are stuck with Burger King. No, Burger King's huge. I went to Green Day, they'd call it, in the 70s. And
You went to Green Day?
Big concerts, big 5-hour party concerts.
Yeah.
You do not smoke weed. You don't take mushrooms. You don't really drink much.
You raw dog it?
You, David, at that 5-hour concert, if you had taken mushrooms, smoked some weed, had 2 Tito's neat, you would have been higher than the stadium. But you were just sitting there. Like
I literally bought a brewski. I don't really drink beer. I drink vodka, but it was you go to a bar and they're like, oh, we're only the Bud Light bar, or we're only the vodka bar, or we're the tequila, whatever's sponsored, so you can only get one thing. So I got 2 beers. And $20 each, no joke. It's no joke.
No joke, $20 each. Inflation's
Thanks,
coming
Biden.
down.
Anyways,
Inflation's coming down.
Yeah.
The beer's less than $20 for the beers. But so that's the thing I did in my youth, where you didn't mind the crowd, you didn't mind you couldn't see anything, you didn't mind the sound. Well, let me ask you, was the sound good at least because it's SoFi?
no.
No. So sound bad, can't see, invited by the lead singer of the biggest rock band. Did you at least have a driver, or were you circling the parking lot like at Disneyland?
Like, this song's good. Is it Journey still? I don't know. It's a good song.
David, literally, I saw Fleetwood Mac in their prime, and all I heard was the kick drum.
Yeah.
No vocals, nothing.
They mic'd the wrong
And very faint in the background. Now there you go again.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And a landslide. I can always tell. I can't hear the singing. You're right. Sometimes they jack up the other shit.
You love it when they go on the club tour or the small theater tour, and then you get to see them. But that's anyway, not fun.
That aside, we'll keep moving. We're gonna hit the stories. We'll
keep moving.
It was
like
fun
we
anyway.
always
I
do.
made it. You know what, Dana? I made it fun. I didn't cry about it. I honestly didn't cry about it. I go, oh my God, look at our tickets. We got rat fucked. All right, well, we're sitting up here now. So let's make the best of it. Anyway.
You have exciting adventures. I went to the local car wash. What was I going to do? Get a 10-minute chunk on getting sprayed. Well, actually, it's one of those you drive through and it just sprays you. So this old guy went in before me, and then it's all, and the green light makes, he's supposed to go. He starts to back up. I'm going to do it again.
Out of my
I'm
way.
like honking. You can't hear him.
No, because he had a flashback of like Viet Cong, and he's like, get out of here, back it up, everyone, run or attack.
Who backs up in a car wash?
Not literally, not one person.
You shouldn't be driving if you think you might have to back up in a car wash. There's a big tunnel. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
The guys
I don't
like
want to die. And he goes,
They
back.
want me to come that way. That's where you don't want to go. Okay. All right, well, what's the first story?
Well, this is just an observation culturally about politics, and then we'll get into some other things, a couple things. It's just funny to me, Trump's lineup now. This is a rebellious lineup. First, it started with a thing where they have Hulk Hogan, and then the Democrats answered with James Taylor. I mean, that's just funny to me. Now you listen to me, brother. Brother, you got a friend, brother. So anyway, that was Hulk Hogan doing James Taylor.
And they go, the next guy's, Hulk is timely. I'm not going nowhere, brother. That's one of his catchphrases. You're not going nowhere.
So that struck
I have to
me
explain.
so
I
funny.
utilize the camera maybe too much so far this show.
Well, no, I love anybody who ends they're making a point and say brother at the end. It's just
Yeah,
funny.
that's what he says.
I'm having a cheeseburger, brother.
It's funny.
So it's Tulsi Gabbard. She's a badass
Yeah.
outside the box. Bobby Kennedy Jr. Need I say more? They've
You're
got
going nowhere.
Obama, Clinton's, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Oprah.
Oh yeah,
We've
they got a fucking lineup.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they're
Coachella.
so cool, and the Trump thing. People should just vote on those.
Who's
That
got
cast
better
of
stars? Yeah, I know. Who's
Cast
winning
of
now.
characters. This is your cast of characters: Hulk Hogan, Tulsi Gabbard, Bobby Kennedy Jr., or it's Taylor Swift.
Taylor
it's not a
hasn't
political
said it
statement.
yet, though. But I think we're guessing. But Taylor hasn't. I think she's smart not to get. I don't think it's all her fans, but
No,
there's
I
half
don't
the
know if
crowd.
she's even out there yet. I talked to Tucker Carlson about this premise last night, and all I heard on the phone was,
I was about to say here comes the Tucker. That's pretty good. He goes, yeah.
"Who's doing this, and why are they doing it?" I don't know.
That's not
I'm
bad.
trying. I'm trying.
We're working literally for free. Okay.
But we're having fun.
Speaking of politics, there was the two things. There was a Zuckerberg thing. Do you have anything on that? Where
Yep.
Zuckerberg? Or
Zuckerberg came
give a
out and said he
photo
was
of it?
pressured by the government to censor COVID information and Hunter Biden. So it was sort of a thing that you do that, and then 6 months from now, they're going to have him in Congress, and they're going to have our friend, Senator John Kennedy.
Yeah, he's back.
The new Ross Perot is going to
love him.
Interrogate
He grills people. Oh yeah.
Yeah. But he does it in such a slow Southern way. Now, Mr. Zuckerberg, did I get that right? Now, you wrote a letter saying that the United States government pressured you to censor content. Did I get that right? Then you got Zuckerberg. Well, yes, Senator. First of all, thank you for the question. They always say that.
Yeah. It's
First
basically
of all,
them
thank you
saying,
for the
"Fuck
question,"
you."
and that is indeed true. Well, can I ask you a question? Do you believe that a mosquito could fart its way out of a hornet's nest? Do you believe that? Did I get that right?
That's an interesting question.
I took your fart thing from the last John F. Kennedy.
You know, Mr. Zuckerberg, let me get my cheaters on. Now, first of all, it's colder than a penguin's pecker in here. I have to say, I'm getting a draft. Could we turn that down? Now,
What he's doing.
it's colder than a well digger's ass, and I have a coat on. Mr. Zuckerberg, have they been fiddling with the election a little bit? I'm confused.
I'm confused. Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing to be censored by the government?
Yeah. That dog don't hunt with me, Jeff. I'm old school. I like to just let whoever wins win.
Zuckerberg, you know, I find it interesting that your name is Zuckerberg and your platform, Facebook or Meta, wherever you call it, sucks. Do you know that it sucks, Mr. Zuckerberg? He actually said that. That's not me doing comedy.
And you're saying he's like
Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg's like an AI of himself. He just sits there. Interesting.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the
Let
question,
me look at
Senator.
my notes. Did we
Yes,
mess
Senator.
with the election? I mean, some people would say, beep, beep, low battery. He got Hunter Biden's laptop too. They didn't get that out there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I looked at a few photos on there. It's quite explicit. His dick is harder than Chinese arithmetic in some of the photographs I have seen. The boy lives a full life.
Now, you thought it was Russian disinformation to have Hunter Biden naked, except for a G-string, with a woman on all fours, chained up with a dog collar on. He's got a gun in his hand, a whip, and cocaine on her bottom. And somehow you thought that was Russian disinformation. Did I get that right?
Where was the confusion? I want glasses. It's funny to go like this.
Did I get that? Your words, not mine, is another thing he says. You know.
Now this is something you said. I'm just reading what you said.
Your words, not mine.
All right. What else? What was that other picture they showed?
Okay, that's 20 minutes.
Yeah, immigration. No, this one was. California close to approving $150,000 loans for illegal immigrants to purchase homes. Now, I don't know if this one's real because I know 3 people of my friends have been trying to buy a house for 10 years at least. And that seems like slightly unfair to me personally. Like 150 grand, 0 interest. Oh yeah, they give a 20% down payment. Wow. So that scares me because I just saw, forget it.
You just saw forget it?
There's in Aurora, Colorado, there's a Venezuelan gang that took over 2 apartment complexes and they're making the people pay rent to them. So I'm like, it's just getting nerve-wracking. I don't really know. I don't understand all the complexities, but I can tell you I'm slightly nervous about the situation. First of all, that one seems unfair. People should be able to buy a house. You shouldn't have to rip up your citizenship card to say, okay, now I want to get a house. And like, oh, okay. So you're for sure not a citizen. Okay. Here's 150 because that would help anybody out. That's such a, I mean, unless you live in California, you can get a house, $150,000 down payment. That's great.
It would seem to be a little incentivized. I put it on The Price is Right. So The Price is Right is streamed all over the world. And
Okay.
Price is Right, so come on down. So if you're sitting in some teapot country and they say, we'll basically give you a house if you can get here,
Yeah.
I would get there. And the Venezuelans, the only thing I like about that gang is it's very American. It's very industrious, just to
Yeah.
get armed, take
Very
over
organized.
2 apartment buildings and start charging rent.
Yeah, they're
I
immediately
mean, that's
on the
very
case.
sophisticated.
By the way, I'm on Twitter. I'm like, I just think I should be a machete salesman. I mean, the funniest thing about, not funny, but there's so many people that have machetes now out there in the world that are going bananas all over the world. I'm like, when did machetes make a comeback? I can't find one. There's none in my house. There's none on my block.
Frank, my friend, assistant
Is a machete
producer,
salesman?
he served in the United Nations via Ireland in Liberia. And every adult male in the village just walked around with a machete. So you'd be having a casual conversation with someone, and he's got a giant sword in his hand, ready to take your head off.
Don't mind
It's a
this.
very threatening thing to hold him.
Well, some
Did
other
you like
countries
rain
don't
last night?
have as many guns, and it's big on stabbing. So if people are bad people and they want trouble, you don't have to have a gun. You
Yes.
can go stab someone and still cause a bit of a ruckus.
Ruckus.
Okay.
I wonder if the Venezuelan. My last thing about the
Yeah, go ahead.
Venezuelan
Of
gang
course.
is: did they took over and charged rent? Did they perchance lower the rent? Could there be a silver lining to the story?
There might be. I saw a video of it. It didn't look like that, but
What you pay last time?
and do they let
700. Okay, give me 600.
Americans in the gang? That would be racist if they did not.
No, obviously we're being pithy. It's so outrageous.
It's
can't
so
be-
crazy out there. But I don't know what's
even
real and
how
what's
to-
not anymore. So I don't know. Some of these stories
That's
put on
yeah.
YouTube.
This is a segment we call "Is It Real?"
It's called There's No Way. Okay, let's get to some doofy Instagram videos.
Let's get some headlines.
See if we
Let's
can get
do it.
some laughs. Oh,
Come on,
This
Heather.
is another dumb one where they use Spade. I don't really get this one because there was one where it's a photo on a building in Austria where it's me and it says a Kurt Cobain quote at the bottom, but it's actually a Neil Young quote. So it generates interest because people have to go, no, that's not Kurt Cobain, and no, that's not even his quote, and no, that's whatever. Not the dang. This is the same shithead
Dang.
Steve, which is one I follow, but they're selling shirts, I think, that say dang. This is based on Kendrick Lamar's album, but it's Joe Dirt.
Why are they putting now? This I would go back to center. Why would they put David Spade face on a supposed quote from Kurt Cobain?
I don't know. I think it generates people laughing, going, and they comment, go no. So the more engagement they have, is that it, Heather? They just want people just saying
I love it.
they love it.
Well,
and
it's also you kind of have rock star hair there.
I could be, if you're younger, I look like it could be anybody. But there's also a place selling a shirt with a hallway picture of me, Farley, and Sandler on it. I think it says, I'm going to tell my kids this was Nirvana. That's funny.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. But it's a picture of us. They're selling, like, I don't think you're allowed to sell pictures of people. I don't know. I'm not going to win that battle. But I just thought that was funny because, of course, everyone sent that to me. They're like, look at this. I'm like, I don't really get it, but okay. All right, next one. Oh, this is a funny joke. Those astronauts in space, they're stuck and Elon Musk is trying to save them. They're stuck with a fucking ripoff.
I know.
It's
So
like an
embarrassing.
elevator. Yeah, you're stuck in space, though. They're supposed to be they might be gone until 2025. And here's the guy's joke. humanity has about 6 months to purchase 8 billion ape costumes for the ultimate prank. Because remember Planet of the Apes? He comes back and he realizes everyone's on apes. Is that funny? That's funny.
I like that. I mean, that's a funny joke. I just think
joke.
This was a gigantic thing because NASA hired Elon Musk, SpaceX, and Boeing like in 2015 to develop rockets to go to the space station. So Boeing had some problems. You know, SpaceX has done 220 missions. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, it was more like, I believe it's 300 missions. But anyway, a little Elon Musk for you.
Yeah.
But I'm working on it. But Boeing was supposed, this was their big maiden launch, all these delays. And then, conk, the thrusters go out. And then the astronauts were supposed to be home in 2 days, and now they've been there. And ironically and weirdly, it's a man and a woman, and they are engaged. Newsflash on Superfly.
Is that true?
No, I made that up.
Are they going to run out of Tang?
Tang is still a reference.
Not Poontang, Dane. I know
Because they did Tang in the 60s, right? With Apollo.
Tang was
Tang.
orange powder drink, and I was a kid and I wanted it because they said that's what the astronauts drink in space.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was just powdered sugar, something horrible for you.
But it was super orange. We had it.
Oh, it was so fucking orange.
Yeah. And it was,
Which was
I mean,
great.
no, it was the orangest orange I've ever seen. They should
Yeah.
call it orange.
I know Tang was a weird name, but I liked it because it was so weird.
Do you remember
And-
High C? You're too young. Do you remember High C?
I am young, but no, I do remember it, unfortunately.
Cans of juice. Remember High C?
High C was the greatest red dye fructose corn syrup. Worst.
Yeah, it was
fucking
just
thing,
hyper sweet,
poison.
but it was in big cans,
Love it.
right?
Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was like this, like a big can. You did the can opener at the top.
Yeah, can opener. And it was made in Japan. Did you know that? High C.
Oh boy, I did not. I did
You
not
did
know
not know that?
No.
Okay. Now, can
that. Okay,
I ask?
no.
Go.
Next story.
I'm not going to do any more John. He's canceled.
Okay, here's funny. Nurses preparing for the monkeypox pandemic. Action. I like how nurses are always having time to do TikToks. It's pretty funny. The hospital right now is fucking crickets. They're like, we have to run over to Radio City and do our... All right, that's enough. We get it.
You always start talking, and I'm just godsmacked. I'm like,
I
what?
know, it's funny. It's
what am
funny.
I looking at?
Just, it's funny because on TikTok, nurses are always doing bits in the hospital, and then you pan over, someone's like, beep, because you're like, when, are you on a break? When do you have time to do this? But I don't mind it. if I'm in the
I just
hospital.
think it's not that adventurous. They're just hopping around with clouds. Ha, ba, ba, da, ba, ba. They should have mimed and had a whole dance choreography around changing out an IV on a patient.
Yes.
Bedpan.
Bedpan. Or
Yeah.
play the bedpan like Stomp, like that show Stomp.
Have you?
With the
You
garbage
probably you haven't been in the hospital much. I've had a few nights in there, but they say, "Would you like a bedpan, or do you think you can make it 6 feet to the bathroom?" I'd like the pan. I like
me
the
to
pan,
jam a pan under
and
your
you can
buttocks?
stay and watch me, and then take it away. No, I'll make it to the bathroom.
When you pee, do you usually have a rod? Because we are trying to figure out, is it going to go straight up? Because if you're lying on your back and you can't move, so they lift your buttocks area and put a bedpan under so you can take a
I always
poo?
made it to the bathroom.
What a hero.
We can put a thing up your urethra, or if you could make it 2 feet to the bathroom, we won't have to do that.
When I got my hernia, down girls,
Hernia.
I got a hernia. And then when I woke up, she goes, all right, it's time for the catheter. She
That's it, the catheter.
grabs my wiener and she takes like basically a number 2 pencil, whatever it is that's too big to go on your wiener.
Mm-hmm.
And she rams it in with 2 people from Game of Thrones, like, ram! I screamed Heather heard me. I screamed across the room because I'm like, why now? I was out cold for 4 hours. Wake up for the worst pain in your life. Are you up? Okay. Hi. What? You could have slid it in. I'd be like this. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, they get it in there, and I'm like, wow. And then they say, can you? And they go, you probably can't pee for a couple days. I'm like, God dang it.
It's totally appropriate you're making those sounds. I had something funny happen to me in that world. It's funny now. So I'm getting a stent, this years ago. But anyway, after the thing, they want you to pee into a plastic bottle, but it had a serrated edge they didn't tell me about. So that I had so many blood thinners in my system that there was a little cut on my wiener, as you would say, and it wouldn't stop. So first of all, there was a very pleasant, rotund woman with gloves on that just held my member for about 3 hours.
With her finger on it?
Yeah, pinching it. Yeah.
Oh no! So her thumb's on it, so it's covering 80% of it. That's terrifying.
No, I was doing it, and then a dude came in and he took over, a dude nurse.
No,
and he was like a real Wayne's World fan. He's like, yeah. So then he had to hold it, and retain pressure for another 8 hours. Dude, I just loved Wayne's World, man. I mean, how'd you guys make that movie? I'm not even making this up. I've never told this story.
I'm sorry. Some of my blood is leaking from. Can you adjust your thumb? Anyway. Oh yeah. Anyway,
could you have more pressure and then less pressure, more pressure and less pressure, and move up and down?
Oh, that's such a funny movie. Am I still tickling your balls? No, that was never part of it. Oh, I thought that's what she was doing. Okay, anyway, so Mike Myers. You got a wig on?
Mike Myers.
You're like this.
He was the nurse?
No,
Lord
I'm
Michael.
saying the guy just had a lot of questions. He's like, okay, I guess this is the part where I put my finger up your butt. And you're like, no, I don't know where you're getting the wrong instructions. I'm just bleeding out of my wiener right now.
No, I'm here just to get my blood pressure checked. I don't need any kind of fisticuffs.
All right, let's. On that note, we should probably bring Danica out. This was shot a couple days ago, and so we might be wearing something different. But Danica Patrick is a supreme race car driver. She's a very good athlete across the board.
The first woman world-class race car driver.
In open wheel and NASCAR. She's done both. And we have a long conversation.
500.
We go all over the place there. We talk about aliens.
We
talk about, it's not just about the racing.
Yeah. Aliens, we get to what might else live amongst us. How's that for a tease?
Yeah, get in there. Let's get right to it. All right, here's Danica.
Oh, one of us got a blowout.
I blow this out myself.
Holy shit.
That's
I have
a
a whole
cool
team
room here, whatever that is.
Yeah, where are you, in Scottsdale?
Yeah.
No, I'm in Colorado.
Ooh.
It looks kind of Rocky Mountain high in that place. Yeah.
I had to get out of the heat because it's lava hot. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Do you bail on the summers there?
Yeah, as much as I can. I was there for about 3 weeks, and I just hated my life. I felt like I was in prison because I couldn't go out past like 11. And then I have 2 dogs, and they can't do it either. So
their paws get fried on the sidewalk.
I don't like the heat. I played Vegas last July, and it was 121. And I said, hey, do other people play this room? It was the Mirage in July. And they go, no, they don't play it. Nobody comes to Vegas in July. There was everyone canceled at the hotel, and the people were there were fried and hungover. But anyway, back to our guest today.
No, let's go back to us.
We know a lot about. He doesn't like heat. You have a cool room, cool hair, a cool necklace, and a cool T-shirt.
Things are happening. Yeah, Danica does a lot of things, Dana, and
I know. Her Wikipedia page is it's a monstrosity. They go over every race. But it's incredible. I mean, what you achieved.
Yeah, you were a race car driver. Do you remember that part?
Vaguely. It does seem like a lifetime, many lives. I feel like I've lived many lifetimes. I usually sort of classify the lifetimes in the realm of relationships. Usually feels like my lifetimes, but racing was definitely one of them.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we all have that in a way. I can relate to that. This quadrant, this is when we lived there. Now we're over here, and it is. I think it's very, very human. But the race car thing. I mean, I don't know if there's any questions you haven't been asked about that part of your,
Yeah, we're here to ask the same ones. No, I could hear.
I thought of one. What
Yeah,
other
go.
sport?
Skip the did I pee in my suit thing? I've never done that, so you can skip that
You've
one.
never
You
done
haven't
that?
peed it? I've peed in my car.
I might be doing something right now, but I'm not going to say
Yeah.
anything.
I pee during
You're so
podcast.
natural.
It's called
you must
pod pee.
practice that. You're so natural.
If it's a long podcast, you got to go. You got to go. That's all I'm saying.
It's called a trucker's buddy, and you put it in your pants, and then you.
Okay, here's my first question.
Yeah.
But if you've, what's a sport that's as dangerous as racing cars?
What sport is as dangerous?
Yeah, and I was just thinking out loud right before I clicked on. Like I was thinking about you went into a sport which takes a massive amount of athleticism and concentration, and I thought you get hurt in MMA
balls.
or boxing, but
balls.
huh?
And balls.
Yeah.
Takes balls, and so how were you in that area? I mean, what do you?
The balls? Well, they
Tell
were
us about your balls.
So
I just meant in the guts level of like, I'm going to go faster around the next turn kind of thing.
I
The
actually
daredevil in you.
I really thought when I was young that I wasn't super brave. I started go-karting when I was 10. When I was 16, I moved to England for racing.
Dog disagrees.
Dog, I know. She's very mouthy. So at 16, I moved to England. I lived there for 3 years until I was 19, and then I came back.
Yeah.
And when I first moved over to England, I thought to myself, like, maybe I'm just not tough enough, like brave enough. I don't feel like I'm very good on the fast corners. And then I came back to the States. I started racing Formula Atlantic and then IndyCar 2 years later. And turns out that wasn't the case at all. And that you really, in racing, you have to get the car to feel really comfortable for you. And if the team doesn't do that, then it's very difficult to push. And so when I lived in England, they didn't care at all about me. So the car felt terrible to me. So
Right.
Have you ever been in the middle of a race where you're going all out and then you go, fuck, I wish I could move the seat up like 2 inches.
you have no idea how much of a pain in the ass it was to fit me in a car, because we had to usually put like something to raise my feet up so that I could get closer to the top of the pedal so that I was putting my feet on the right spot. Again, I think it's because it's like ironically hailing here in the middle of the summer.
It is?
And it's like sunny, but a couple clouds, but it's truly hailing outside.
I thought it was one of those things where you say to the dog, if it feels like it's not going well, start barking, and then I'll say I have to leave.
Yeah.
That would be actually quite the skill set. It's like,
like a
the
good
dog
date.
in the commercial is going to get a beer for them. If I could get the dog to like get me out of jail free card in uncomfortable situations, that would be a major skill set. But anyway, so turns out I had the balls to do it.
You
I
had
was
the feet long enough and everything.
Yeah, got the car fitted to me. So it was definitely, there were times where I was too high, too far forward, too far back, too far down.
The whole time.
And not the whole time, but usually at the beginning of the season after you got fitted, you'd figure that out very, very quickly in the first sort of time that you got in the car. And sometimes like I would be like working on the seat myself and like shaving it down and taking pieces out of it, and very, very manly of me. But yeah, fitting in.
What was your height and weight in your prime race car driving? How small were you?
I probably, I'm 5'1", never really grew past, I'm going to guess that was gotta be like 9th grade. And, I've been like around 110 pounds ish my whole life.
So did you ever consider, if the race car driving didn't turn out, you'd be a jockey? Did you ever think about being a jockey? Just kind of kidding, but you. I mean,
I have ridden a horse before. It was like once I got into NASCAR, so it was later. And I think what are the speeds? There's like loping is sort of like a speed with horses, and it's kind of scary. I'm not sure. I would have been okay with it. Those horses. Every time I see a horse like running fast or going through water or just carrying someone fat on their back, I just think I feel so bad for their legs. And then when they break them, they have to kill them. And I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Like the
Yeah.
math with those little
Yeah.
legs and big body.
Good job, Dana.
Yeah.
Bring up the sore subject. But also, you know, Danica, I don't know if you're part of this scam. I think I was promoting something and we went to Darlington maybe. And there was a guy that would drive idiots like me around to do a lap or something. Do you remember this guy's name? It was something funny.
They probably got someone that was a driver or has been at some point in something.
By the way, Dana, when you're going around whipping around the corner, and they want you to be scared shitless. They said you don't have to be in it. Then when I got there, they go, "No, get in with the guy." And I go, "Well, don't drive or anything." It's a scam every step along the way. Crawl in the window, put on this suit. That the hardest part is scariest for me because Danica and I are drivers. Dana, it's hard to explain, but I'll explain it to you.
I'm following. I'm riveted.
Okay, so you get in and you go, put on this fireproof suit. There won't be a fire, but when there is, this will block some of it for a few seconds. And I go, okay. And then I don't know if I'm claustrophobic. I did find out when they clip me in with 18 clips. I go, let's just say we roll. How do we get the clips? And the guy's like, oh, I'll be long gone by then. I'm like, I know, but with me, when I'm in the car burning, there's so many clips. I lost track. I go, good luck. And then when he goes around, he's going, I don't know how fast, 700, maybe I'm wrong. And then he hits the wall. And I think Danica would know
you in
that.
the car?
Yeah. And that's
Fantastic.
It's the Darlington stripe. They do it on purpose to make you shit your pants. It works. He hits the wall. So when we get out of the car, the whole door is kind of ripped. And I'm like, why is the guy, first of all, that's not good enough to be out there with the real people is the one with my life? And there's something wrong. And it was fun in quotes.
Well, now you can say, like, I didn't pee my pants, but you can say you did shit yours when you were driving.
And I found out once I did it once, now I do it all the time because it was fun and I liked it. And which part am I talking about? The driving?
Which part are you talking about?
There's a story about a driver that did shit his pants. It was at Watkins Glen, New York.
Yeah.
He was sick and he absolutely sharted himself and he won the race.
And he had to run around with it.
Wow.
And then he had to like go change before going to Victory Lane. Anyway,
I don't want to put this image in your head, but there are Olympic world-class marathoners who have, and there's no hiding that.
No.
Yeah, that's harder to hide.
Now we have
you
a
guys
theme.
ever run for like long distance and known about this whole have to shit thing?
I was a distance runner as a younger person, but I never saw it up close. There was folklore about it.
Usually you're healthier then, but when you get older, I could see things falling apart. But we just had a runner on. We should have asked him that.
Oh yeah, you should have, because I ran the Boston Marathon a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. My one bucket list item was to run a marathon, and so, well, I don't know what's wrong with me. But my friend said, hey, I think I can get us into Boston. And I was like, yeah, cool. So she did. And I had to do a lot of training in Arizona where it was like, you know, I would go as soon as like barely sunrise. What I didn't realize is I should have gone in the dark. But it'd be like 100 to 105 by the time I was finished. And there's something about the heat too that really makes you want to go.
Oh,
that may make
I didn't
sense.
though. So I never did that either.
Danica, I don't want to brag, but when I used to walk from McCormick Ranch to my friend's pool on like Lincoln and 60th, Dana, this sounds like a brag. I would wear just raw dog it, just shorts, no sunscreen, no hat, 3 miles so I can go in the pool. And that was in the summer when I was in high school. And that's all. Just bragging. That was my Boston Marathon.
Barefoot too?
Oh, I see.
Not full raw dog. I had some Stan Smiths on. Actually, the story is partially a lie. Anyway, back to
you're on a roll. Let's finish.
I know. I was excited because I was like, because I grew up in Scottsdale baking and boiling, so I know Danica's story checks out. And my mom's there now, and the dog. So she drives them around for a walk. For a walk, she puts them in the car, and then she rolls the windows down, And then she drives around and lets them bark. She drives up to people and they bark at them and then she drives off. And if she sees, I don't know, that's my mom, but it's fun for her. She's, it's fun. I did it once with her. I go, I want to go on one of these. And then she found where they had horses and she pulled up and then they bark at the horses and
Did you bark at them too?
I sort of was the referee because then the horses would come to the fence and then I said, okay, this is obviously just for fun. Everything's for fun here. Because the horses didn't get what was going on. But overall, it's fun in Arizona. Dana,
It's
and
hot.
okay, I have
9 out of 12 months are fun.
Yes, that's what, my
Yes.
buddy sells real
That's it.
estate there. And he says, I say, how do you just talk people into living there? Because everyone's fucking moving there. And he said, well, I say in Chicago, there's 3 or 4 months you can't go outside because of snow. It's just the opposite. And I'm like, I guess that makes sense. I don't like it when it's freezing, but I grew up in Arizona, so I kind of can take it when it's hot. I mean, Dana, you know that I had my steering wheel was steel. This is before I was rich, everybody. So I had a steering wheel that was steel, and then I had oven mitts when I got in to grab it because they were so hot. And then they really came in handy when I pulled that pot roast out of the glove compartment. But that's not why we're here.
I really want to know what's going on with the rest of the car. If the steering wheel was steel.
Steering wheel was steel, Danica, because we're in the driving biz. Also, Danica, do you have road rage in Scottsdale? Do you get out? Do you carry anything?
I thank God there's so many lanes on the highway these days, because you can pretty much maneuver. I absolutely use the HOV at any point in time, no matter how many people are in the car or not.
Good job.
And I always think to myself, if I get pulled over, I mean, it's lapsed now, but I'd be willing to use an expired one. If I pulled out like my FIA racing license along with my ID, how would that go?
They would probably let you go. You've got a couple things going for you, and they might give you. But there's more crime going on out there. I don't like me. I'm not the big fish guy. Like I know where you can focus some policing. So don't try to drag me in. But I'm easy. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like go 85 on the 101 is not really worth the time of day. They should probably. There's some other areas that need help. For sure.
Yeah, I've been on all of them. Also. We were going to ask you, we had a guy in here. Do you ever heard of Stephen Greer? We're jumping around, but this guy was.
I actually just got a text from Stephen Greer last night.
Oh, you did? We had him on, and he was really fun to talk to.
Yeah, I've interviewed him a couple times. He's wild, man. The amount of data in his head and names and.
Oh, I know.
I mean, it's really crazy.
Yeah, I mean, for the audience that barely listens to our show. Stephen Greer, who was on here, is a UFOologist. Is that what he said, Dana? Is that what he calls it?
Oh, yeah.
There's some term.
And a doctor.
Which means he's a doctor.
He's an ER doctor.
Very smart guy. And Dana and I are sort of into this whole stuff. And so we asked him, we didn't ask him, are they among us? That's what people wanted me to ask him, and I didn't.
I think they are. But let's back up. Arizona, extraterrestrial. Every night I take my dogs out and look up into the sky. It's usually around 10 p.m. And I think, I want to see something. And then I go, but maybe not. And I run inside.
Exactly.
If I actually saw something. But have you ever seen anything crazy?
No, I actually, I believe in this stuff. And so when I was a kid in Casa Grande, which is Dana, like an hour out of Scottsdale, is this copper mining town. I'll take you there sometime. Maybe for your birthday. And I would sleep outside and I was reading this book called The Interrupted Journey. It was about people that got abducted. And then I'd look in the sky because it was so clear. And again, I was like, what if I would be, and I kind of believe to this day, I would be so terrified if I saw something. Yeah. Like that Las Vegas sighting. And these people, they're weirded out the rest of their life because I see why people don't report all the time, because then everybody asks them the rest of their life and everything's so weird, and the FBI comes and they're putting up cameras all over their street. And I think that one was kind of real. There's a lot to that one. I don't know if you remember that one, Danica?
No, it's not the Miami one. The one where.
No, that one is less videos, but fucking nuts. when it was
fucking
in the
nuts.
mall.
Never seen so many.
Yeah.
Never seen so many cop cars. Like that was the most ironic. That was. I don't think that could have been an alien situation. I don't know what that was, but to have the most amount of cop cars that had like accumulated in one area that they'd like ever seen or that we've ever witnessed seems a little crazy.
Yeah.
But what's the one in Vegas? I mean, there's
Vegas
been
is like they said
Yeah.
someone landed, a ship landed, and they had a video of something going down like a falling star on some guy's body cam on a cop. And then these people said, there's guys in our backyard that are 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
And they came over, and then I look at the video. It's all over TikTok, of course. I went to the University of TikTok. And so I look, and then they look that where they're not holograms, but they're like cloaked, it looks like. So it looks like they say they are there. And these people, like, we swear they're here and they're huge. And then it's all scary. But that was kind of a big one. Depends on what you're into.
Is it like a drug area? Do they make a lot of meth in that area?
No, I don't think. I think these people sounded real. And then, of course, like one day they just flipped their story. I didn't see anything. It's like a kidnap tape.
Well, that's like the Men in Black sort of thing, right?
Mhm.
Like where
Right.
they come and
Yeah.
they tell you like, you better shut your mouth. I believe that stuff happens too. I mean, I think there's a lot of weird stuff that goes on. Yeah. Yeah. I also think that if there was sort of an interaction with an extraterrestrial, because there's some that are benevolent. Actually, I think most probably are. And I think that Stephen Greer probably said that most of them are benevolent.
Mhm.
That I actually think that there would be a positive. I think you'd almost get like put in a trance,
Yeah.
almost as if. Have you guys ever seen the movie Contact with Jodie Foster?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She like sees her dad and her dad,
Yeah.
but it's
Mhm.
actually an extraterrestrial. But they took the form of the dad to make her feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think there'd be some scenario where you wouldn't feel uncomfortable. You'd be, the frequency would put you at peace. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think that too. But
Yeah.
I'm still
From what I hear is that if you get closer, then you can hear what they're saying to you. They don't talk, right? Have you heard that?
Mhm.
Like in your head.
I
You haven't heard
don't know.
that?
no, like from a telepathy standpoint.
Yeah. Yeah. I think even Stephen Greer, and I'm sure most of them are just, fist bumps all around. You see an alien, it's like, hey, I'm on your turf. If they want to kill us, which I'm scared of, they could easily. They would have done it already. So I don't think there's that. But there's all these different factions to it.
Did
Are they-
Stephen Greer? What did you two talk about? I mean,
Yeah.
what you just casually having a conversation with him?
No,
What did
I
you-
interviewed him twice for the show. He's a huge
Okay.
hit. Like he's one of the highest viewed shows that I've had for my podcast. And I mean, we talk about. I mean, he goes on, as you know, he goes on and on.
Yeah.
And on
He
and
doesn't
on.
need much prompting.
There-
Yeah.
He
Oh,
doesn't
no,
need
it's
much.
so
one story
fast.
leads to the next, and
Yeah.
but of course we talk about like why, like the government, the cover-ups, like
Mhm.
what kind of beings are they? How many are there? Yeah, all the
Mhm.
ET, alien, all that kind of stuff does so well on my podcast. People love that. There's another girl
I think so.
that
Yeah,
you
it's
could talk to.
interesting.
Her name's Elizabeth April. Everybody loves her too. She talks about some crazy shit. She talks
Give
about
us
who's
some
the
crazy
reptilian-
shit. Sorry, give me.
Who's the reptilians? Like Adele
Oh.
and Queen Elizabeth and Bieber and people like that being reptilians, like shape-shifting reptilians.
Shapeshifters.
Is
I
it
see.
something with the eyes? Because I see videos where they say, look at these people's
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah.
So they are.
Wait, let me ask this. Was MK Ultra a real thing in Hollywood?
Oh, you're
Like,
asking
were they
the
mind
two
control
top
you?
reps of Hollywood?
Yeah. Way more than me.
That's true.
David, you would know.
Tell me what MK Ultra is again, and then I'll tell you. If
Well,
we're
it's
in
like
it.
MK Ultra is where they kind of like brainwash you into doing certain things or being a certain way.
Oh.
Almost like you can be triggered with certain words or sounds too.
Oh.
Like you have a
And
handler.
who are they that's
train
doing
you.
that?
Yeah, who are
Who's
they? Are they
doing that?
aliens or government?
Or are they just
Government,
agents
deep
and
state.
managers? Oh,
Deep state. Yep.
Mhm.
No,
The deep state.
I haven't traded my whole body and soul for just to be on a sitcom. I would probably raise the stakes a bit. I would want my house made of solid gold. I would actually barter for more, but I do think there's a lot of that talk out here and a lot of Illuminati talk, and people ask me about it. It sort of has escaped me personally, but Dana with his wooden
Unless
doors
they
and all his
wiped
money.
out your memory, they did.
Oh,
do it
you're
in
right. I don't know.
mind games.
What about Danica when you see people that, like they say Biden wears a mask or other people are a mask out there?
Where his
Mhm.
ear doesn't like connect correctly. Like where they
Yeah.
say where he has like one where there's like a rounded earlobe and then the other one it connects.
Yeah.
I've also heard bad plastic surgery. But
I hope
if
not
you
my
look
guy.
at his, yeah, you should make sure you find a doctor. You don't want those telltale signs. But if you look at his face over time, it's pretty unrecognizable.
Right. Could be age. You don't know. But sometimes they say they have not just on Biden, Dana. You see pictures of people where they have like a bump right here where it looks like there is a mask. Then there's a woman on the internet saying, we'd make masks for the FBI or CIA, and they're so real. And that was from 4 years ago. They're like, you can't tell them apart. So I think Biden or any president might have not a stunt double, but someone that kind of runs around over here for him to distract. But definitely it makes you think.
Well, then the Biden thing, remember how, we almost lost 2 presidents in a week,
Yeah.
recently, and how Biden went missing for like 6 days. And then when he reemerged and shuffled his way to speak in front of everyone,
Yeah.
that they were like, why is he so tall? He's like way taller than Jill, his wife now.
I saw that
like,
too.
Bad clone.
Yeah, like the
So
clone
they
people
could
were like,
clone him.
guys, it
He
wasn't
looks
ready.
exactly like him, but he's 6'4".
Yeah.
Guys, come on.
The clone
Come on.
department
Hey.
goes, fuck, we sent him out a day early. It was not ready. I told you guys he was not. We had to hammer him down a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I saw that. They said he's taller than, Zelensky, or whoever he was talking to. And I'm like, I don't know. But it does make you think there's so much of that shit going on.
By the way, the fact of the matter is.
Yeah, Biden,
Guess
why are
what?
you taller?
I did it better than the betters if people did it. Anytime, come on.
Are you a
Listen to
clone?
some people now. I'm a robot.
My favorite clips and memes are the ones where he's absolutely speaking gibberish.
Yeah,
it's just fantastic.
I love it where Hunter, we're the only one who can understand him. Hey, Dad, how you doing? It's going, it's fine. Yeah, I could have dinner tomorrow night, not tonight. Why are you so the time? Well, I have a date tonight. Okay, sure. You don't need to know, Dad.
Yes, I've seen Fern Gully, Dad.
I don't know. Maybe we were right. People said, why are you doing Biden like that? Gaslighting.
Oh,
well,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
I
think he
felt like
that
was
he had
actually verbatim. So
Yeah, that was an exact quote, Dana, you just did.
yeah.
No, it wasn't an exact quote. I'm working on new angles because now he's it's sort of interesting that perhaps this is from the New York Times and stuff. He's not really talking to Nancy right now. He's a little upset with Nancy Pelosi, and he clearly it's a little bittersweet for him. I was the greatest, most transformative president the country's ever had. This week, 400 million jobs. Excuse me, 200 million. Pardon me. So,
Pardon.
But we have 15 million new Americans.
Yeah.
So it kind of grew our population, right?
Brag about that.
That's true. But anyway, it
Might
seems
be in
like
Arizona, a
every
few of them.
week in America now
First stop.
something weird happens.
First
So let's
stop.
see what.
Beep, beep. First stop. Welcome aboard.
Oh,
yeah.
man. What's going on in this world
I
today?
know. There's a lot happening.
It's never
I
boring,
like
but I want
Danica.
I hope I get abducted. I kind of just hope I get abducted. The whole I'm down here, come pick me up. I got to get out of here. That's
Yeah.
I'd go to Mars. Would you guys go to Mars if you would you go on a trip to Mars? No guarantees, but hey, there's stuff going down there. I mean, they say there's maybe even people are there. Who knows? Would you go to Mars?
I think at this point, yeah, I'm kind of, I'm on the back nine. I think it'd be, yeah. If Elon Musk is driving, I like the SpaceX, the Boeing Starliner. I don't know if I'd ride one of those right now. The ones that are stranded at the space station.
Put me on that Apollo mission that went to the moon. That thing hit that with some armor all and get the cobwebs off it. Remember that little tin can? Did that make it to
Do you
Mars?
think we went to the moon? Do you guys think we went to the
I
moon?
mean,
I know someone who thinks we, in fact, did not go to the moon. He says, and I said, if they faked it, it's a bigger accomplishment than if they
going to
actually
the
went.
moon. Yeah. They when you can
That's
bluff
a good point.
everybody.
I do like that is good. But then why did Stanley Kubrick die mysteriously of a heart attack?
Didn't know about Crestor, Lipitor, probably didn't check. And, a dose of, who knows, Tom Cruise was there. Let's get in the
She goes, why do you die mysteriously by getting hit by a car? Well, I mean, a heart attack, I guess, older guy, but I know the timing is usually bad on those things. Like the people
3
that just
days
died
after
in that
That was
flight,
why-
the cancer doctor.
Well, you got to go
the
into
8
all this
guys
stuff.
That were like the 8 cancer doctors that were in
did
the
Dana
plane.
hear about that one, Dana? You got your ear to the tracks? The Brazil
No,
plane
I was just
crash?
thinking to believe in the Kubrick death, you have to have your eyes wide shut. That's just for filmophiles.
I like that one,
I waited for that. But look, why are you too afraid of UFOs? Like, I want aliens to come down. I want to see it. If they come down and they come out and they're blasting me, that would just be fascinating. So there are aliens. Now they're killing me. I don't know. Why are you guys afraid? It'd be fascinating.
Independence Day was right.
Yeah. Maybe because they say they have them in the. I think they're somewhere right now. I think we have some. I think we have ships. I think we steal the. Go ahead.
I think speaking of here,
Mhm.
that girl Elizabeth April, when I interviewed her, she
Mhm.
said that there was basically the Anunnaki came to the planet to mine gold, and the
course.
reptilians were here,
Right.
and that there was a sort of like the Galactic Federation said, okay, you guys need to leave. You all need to leave. This is the humans' planet. And then the
Not so fast.
Anunnaki said, no problem, peaced out. And the reptilians said, hell no, we're staying. And they said, okay, you can stay, but you can't be seen by the humans. So then they went inner Earth, and they used their mind to control people. And so they essentially still control the planet, but they're like inner Earth, and they're like amongst us.
Are they Democrats or Republicans?
Well, clearly Democrats.
Survey says. Well, that one, it's really like the Crips and the Bloods. This is the first incarnation. No, I would say, yes, the Anunnaki. Is that the word you said?
Anunnaki.
Anunnaki said we're leaving. Reptilian said we're right behind you. And then they go, you know what, we're just going to hang. And I've heard that the underground Denver airport, or there's so many underground bases that they ran into aliens in there, and then they didn't know what to do. They said, oh no, we went into where they were, probably your underground.
When they're excavating or something?
Yeah. And then they, and a lot of, we're kind of jumping around. This got really crazy. But that was a good one. And they said they had to talk to him, and they said, because one of these UFO guys goes, I was led down there. They said, you don't want to go past those doors. It's a big production. You have to bring all these guys with machine guns because we don't want to disturb. And if we do, we don't know if they come out. And if they do, we're all toast because obviously they win in a fight,
Mm-hmm.
Well, all you have to do is sort of take witness to some of the ancient civilizations, like even just Egypt, like the pyramids, the temples. Yeah. I've been there a couple times, and it's crazy. We just don't get it.
No one can explain how they built it, how man could build that, right?
It's incredible. It's crazy. And even the temples too, while they're not, the great, this huge structure with these giant megalithic stones, or humongous stones, that we can't even move with forklift now with our technology. The temples are stunning. Like they're completely covered in these, pictures, and you call them engravings, or they're like etched into the walls, and they're all perfect. They're like so perfect. They must have been lasered somehow or something like that. Or maybe they were like a cast.
Perfectly symmetrical, and everything about them is like where they are on the planet. They're all aligned up to, or they use them as like, not Wi-Fi, but you know what I mean? Like their towers all connect. And it's, when you hear about it and all the, longitude, latitude, you're like, holy shit, like it's all perfect.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. And actually each pyramid got a little worse than the one before. almost like
They
technology
get sloppy.
and they discovered wine and it was over.
Yeah, of course. Typical
That's it.
Anunnakis.
10,000 years ago.
You can't look away with those guys. You got to stay on them. All
Oh,
right.
man.
Well, maybe we talk. Okay, we talked a long time. We'll let you go, Danica. That was very fun talking to you about this stuff.
I think we solved some things. I think
We
figured
really
a lot.
did. We closed some doors. We answered some
We
questions.
may have opened some doors.
We should all just say on the record that we would never kill ourselves.
Yeah.
That if
I
we turn
don't want to be one of these people. I'm fine. I'm just cruising around, but I won't. Yeah, I won't.
No, and remember, when you look at the night sky where I have it, and you see all those stars, you go, really? That's where you get an open mind to like, what the fuck are we doing here? How'd we get here?
Yeah.
It's the endless quest, you know. So if spaceships come down, it'd probably be great, and we go, oh, aliens, you're down. Look at your spaceship. Do you know how the universe was created? Do you understand infinity? And they go, nope, we don't know, but we got great spaceships, David.
Yeah. Check it out. Check it out. You guys know Danica. She's already on there. Heyo.
So, Danica, I should say, you are an icon because of your athletic background. And then you've just gone on. You're an analyst for NBC and you have all your wine. And so I just think from a young age, you're just very driven. You said, Daddy, I want to ride go-karts. And it just, drive is fascinating. Magic Johnson has it. You have it. You know, and
A good book
great.
title is Driven, but it's probably been used. But
you ever said to a boyfriend?
My first book was called Crossing the Line.
Mm-hmm.
And then my second
Wink.
book was called Pretty Intense.
Ooh.
But Driven's good. Driven's good. I mean, yeah, it was, I realized, and I don't know why it took so long. I think it's because I just did one thing for like most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I really do everything fast. Kind of ridiculous. I think fast. I walk fast. I cook fast. I drive fast.
And just throwing yourself into stuff. I'll do that. I'll do
Sure.
that. Let's do this. Let's do that. And not minding the pain that usually comes with it or frustrations. So what is your ultimate? I know you've had your dating life out there and stuff, but what kind of man do you think works with you? I'm just literally curious as a person. Someone who's equally driven or someone who can lay back and coexist.
A stoner,
or, you know,
a gamer.
Because I've been married for 41 years. I could tell you
a good head of hair. It's very important.
That hair is on fuego today.
Look at that. Look at that.
It won't look like this again, Danica. Don't count on it.
It's got a mind of its own.
You know, it's a good question. I think about this a lot.
Well, I'm thinking out loud to myself, okay, someone with that kind of drive, you know?
I think it's good to have someone to, I do love laughing for sure. I've learned the value of that. That is very important. Someone that can bring the chill out in me a little bit. Yeah, I think that's a good thing. But someone also that can take charge, because there's no way to like really get into my feminine or a female or a feminine energy. God, get the words right. I don't want to make anyone mad. But to get in your feminine, you have to have someone else take charge. Otherwise, it's really hard. And it's so easy for me to like do everything and plan everything and be in charge. So, but to get all like sweet and flowy and girly, I need someone that can arrange things, organize things, do things, take charge, take
some stuff off your plate.
Who wrote the song "Are You Strong Enough to Be My Man"? What was that? Sheryl Crow. Have you ever ordered for a boyfriend? He'll have the chicken, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
No, thank God.
Dana orders for me all the time.
That's cute.
Yeah, it's super
What does that say about you?
When we go to dinner.
What does that say about each of you?
We'll tell you off.
I don't
camera.
know. I would just say, well, there's different ways of being the male figure and different ways of being the feminine figure. They can take different forms in a long-term relationship. I think you got to have sense of humor, a lot of respect, and sometimes, you know, I mean, Chris Rock's special, I said, a tambourine, that someone has to play the tambourine. That was his point of view.
Yeah.
You know, take a back seat so the other can shine and stuff like that, or you can share it. I don't know. This is like talking about aliens. It's very hard.
It's true
to
because
have a multi-decade
for every
relationship.
reptilian, there's an Anawaku.
Exactly.
Yeah, so they have, you find the opposites attract.
Exactly.
Well,
but I
Danica,
think that, I'm a little high maintenance. I require a lot of attention.
yeah.
So if someone's gonna keep me stimulated, I need a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And is that someone who would be curious about you on a daily basis? Like, be interested in what happened to you and what's going on with you?
Yes.
I think that's a healthy thing.
Yeah. I want to know how my day was. What am I doing? What did I eat for dinner?
Very nice again. Thank you, Danica, for coming on. And good job with the use of megalithic. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you. I love big words. I try to make people feel dumb when I say them.
You did, and you didn't have to change it and dumb it down. You did good with the first one. And Dana and I are going to stay on for a half hour and talk about you, but
we're going to stay on. Stephen Greer is our next guest.
And Stephen was great. So tell him hello, and we'll see you next time. Appreciate it.
This is fun, guys. Thanks for
enjoyed it.
Okay, bye, hon. This has been a presentation of Audacy. Superfly is executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Jenna Weiss-Berman of Audacy, Heather Santoro, and Greg Holtzman. Hope you liked it. Ooh.